Man City's forgotten former record signing Eliaquim Mangala moves quietly towards the exit door. As Manchester City celebrated a rip-snorting win over Chelsea, spare a thought for one forgotten member of their squad. Eliaquim Mangala enjoyed a memorable debut against the would-be champions in 2014, keeping the unmanageable Diego Costa quiet. After a turbulent transfer that had seen his arrival delayed before he turned up injured for the opening months of the season, here it seemed the Blues had settled the centre-back position for a decade with one of Europe's most exciting prospects. In the eyes of club captain Vincent Kompany, he had all the basics to be more than a good defender. And if he had hardly come cheap, announced at £32 million before Football Leaks later revealed it to be £42 million, making the defender briefly the most expensive signing in the club's history, he remains in the top 10. This was a start to prove that expensive players can still prove to be exceptional value. Except it only took a week for those initial conclusions to look hasty. City travelled to Hull, where Mangala got into the wrong position to head into his own net before conceding a penalty to see a 2-0 lead evaporate. The gaffes continued, and as early as Boxing Day in his first year at the club came the infamous tweet, "Seriously mate, no joking, please just don't play again, prem not suited to you pal, your crep, no hard feelings, just not worked out, sick." It wasn't that he did not enjoy success in a City shirt. Mangala has 51 league starts to his name and 20 in cup competitions, including both legs of the 2016 Champions League quarter-final at Paris Saint-Germain and 80 minutes of the semi-final at the Bernabeu when Vincent Kompany went off injured. He made the France squad for Euro 2016 on the back of that season and came on in the quarter-final win over Iceland. Chalk up another defender that Didier Deschamps prefers to Aymeric Laporte. However, that tweeted summary, however crude, has turned out to be a far more memorable assessment of the Frenchman's strange time at the Etihad. Manuel Pellegrini's response to watching Mangala for a year was to spend £32 million on Nicolas Otamendi despite the fact that the club were operating under a transfer cap as part of their punishment for breaking financial fair play, and that the move effectively ended the City career of burgeoning talent Jason Denayer, now thriving at Lyon. When Pep Guardiola arrived a year later, his primary targets before a ball was kicked were John Stones and Laporte. The U-turn from the athletic star gave Mangala a stay of execution, and after a year on loan at Valencia he made 15 appearances, including 4 league starts, for the Blues last season before earning a loan move to Everton. There, injury robbed him of a chance to make it permanent after just 2 appearances. Given a 3 on debut in the Liverpool Echo's player ratings for his part in a 5-1 defeat at Arsenal, he went off at half-time of the next game with what turned out to be a more serious problem than initially expected. Anything would have been an improvement on the Emirates but still looked uncomfortable on the ball at times. Read the Echo's review of his second and final appearance for the Toffees. An under-hit back pass put his keeper into trouble while another time he was convincingly outmuscled by Big Palace centre-forward Alexander Sorloth and then his home bow ended prematurely through injury. 5. Sunday, as City were taunting Chelsea, marked a year since Mangala last played a competitive match. He returned to training with Guardiola's first team towards the end of October 2018, and was given minutes in the EDS side to build up his fitness. However, new recruit Philippe Sandler and teenager Eric Garcia have been preferred in the League Cup when the first-choice centre-backs have been rested, and an inquiry as to whether Mangala would get a run out at Burton with City 9-0 was met with short shrift. And so the 27-year-old troops on with a lonely existence as a footballer without hope of playing football matches, at least for the remaining 6 months of his contract at the Etihad, until one of the club's most expensive buys leaves on a free. There is still hope of better adventures to come. He is young enough to enjoy many more career highlights, and said in an interview 2 years ago that he believes the peak of playing comes between 28 and 32 years old because of experience. You have learned the position and are able to tell players to come here, cover there and maybe not to be so involved in the physical side of it. However, with no offers appearing in the January window, he appears destined to leave Manchester with his reputation a shadow of what it was 5 long years ago. Remembered for a gigantic price tag and a viral tweet. No hard feelings, it just hasn't worked out.